Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host Thomas Sire from On the Hot Podcast. Today, this is episode 77 for you guys. Today, this should be just a solo episode, just your host only. This will be coming on all four of our platforms: our Instagram account, our Facebook account, our YouTube account, and our Apple Podcast account. So let's go ahead and get episode 77 started for you guys today. In the first segment, I will be sharing my biggest takeaways from Week 11 of the NFL season. And these are some good takeaways that I have after Week 11. A good NFL week, great competition, a lot of question marks to me, some blowouts that happened, but these are my biggest takeaways from Week 11. And first off, one of my biggest takeaways are the Washington Commanders have gotten themselves into playoff contention. The Washington Commanders started off the beginning of the part of the season after playing their first 5 games. They were a 1-4 team, and the Commanders have won 5 out of 6 of their last games, thanks to Taylor Heinicke, who is 4-1 as a starter this NFL season, and he gives them just the best chance to win for this Washington Commanders team. Compared to Carson Wentz, who I talked about a week ago, that it was best that Ron Rivera and the Washington Commanders move forward with Taylor Heinicke as the starter. They just find more success with him as the starting quarterback moving forward for the rest of the season. He puts them in position to win games. The team believes in him. They found a formula offensively. He's not lighting the world on fire, but he's not turning over the ball when it matters most compared to Carson Wentz. And they found an identity offensively. They can move the ball better down the field with Taylor Heinicke than they can with Carson Wentz. They have a formula running the football now with their 2 young explosive backs, Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson. It's kind of nice to watch. I'm not going to lie. As a Cowboys fan, it should be making me sick to my stomach. But when you see Taylor Heinicke have what he's come from, nearly giving up on his dreams being in the NFL, former XFL quarterback, came in the late part of the 2020 season and became the guy for the Washington Commanders. I'm not even sure why they even traded for Carson Wentz in the first place, but Taylor Heinicke is living out his dream. And the Commanders are even going to get better because their franchise player, Chase Young, will be returning from his torn ACL maybe this coming week or the following week. But Chase Young will be back in a Washington Commanders uniform playing alongside those guys. And that's my biggest takeaway. The Washington Commanders are legit as of right now. They are red hot, and they have a chance to make the playoffs with Taylor Heinicke under center. My next biggest takeaway is Jeff Saturday. The Jeff Saturday experience is truly working in Indianapolis. I can't believe I'm saying that because a few weeks ago on this podcast, I said that was one of the biggest mistakes that the Colts ever made was firing Frank Reich and bringing in Jeff Saturday. Jeff Saturday, a Hall of Fame center playing for the Indianapolis Colts, but at the time, he had no coaching experience. Never coached at the collegiate level in college football. Never coached in the NFL. Only coaching experience that I had to date on him was him coaching during the 2020 year in high school football, where he had 3 wins and 7 losses. He was a NFL analyst on ESPN. Somehow, someway, got the call and is doing a great job as the interim head coach. He's 1-1 as a head coach. No, he's the interim coach, but 1-1 as a coach in the National Football League. Beat the Las Vegas Raiders on the road a week ago, winning that game 25-20. And then this past Sunday, they went toe-to-toe with the Philadelphia Eagles, the best team in the NFL. Only lost that game by 1 point to a 8-9, now 9-1 football team. So Jeff Saturday, the experience is working. The team looks like they found new life offensively. They couldn't move the ball to save their lives. But now they're looking like a cohesive unit. They're looking like they're all playing for each other and playing under the motivation that Jeff Saturday is providing that team. Jonathan Taylor looks explosive running the football. The offense is moving down the field with Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. Defensively, they look so much better. Stephon Gilmore is looking like a top corner once again, playing on the outside for the Indianapolis Colts. So this team looks better offensively and defensively ever since that Jeff Saturday has taken over. And now he has a legit chance to earn the permanent job, the permanent head coaching position after this season is over. If the Colts can string along some more wins, I believe that they are going to name Jeff Saturday the permanent head coach for this franchise moving forward after this season. He has 6 more games to audition for the Colts this year. If this continues, they have no choice but to make him the new head coach of this Indianapolis Colts franchise. I'm shocked. I didn't think they were going to win more than 3 to 4 games, but they might be on their way to doing it. So the Jeff Saturday experience is working so far. My next biggest takeaway is the Los Angeles Rams have gone through one of the roughest Super Bowl hangovers in recent memory. This is absolutely disgusting. And I said when they got the brakes blown off of them week 1, the beginning of the season when they played a really good Buffalo Bills team, they came in, dropped the banner of their Super Bowl banner. Opening night, they had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson out there motivating them, getting ready to go. They still got their butts whooped in front of the world. After hoisting your Lombardi trophy, the rings were given out, and the banner was dropped. And the Buffalo Bills came in and took care of business that night, offensively and defensively. And I said on this podcast after this happened, I said that I have a bad feeling they're going to experience a Super Bowl hangover similar to what the Philadelphia Eagles did after they won the Super Bowl in 2018. I said they would be feeling themselves too much, have their head over heels in this run as the reigning defending Super Bowl champions. Now this is worse, and this is honestly the worst Super Bowl hangover that I can remember myself, being a fan of the NFL. And it's not getting any better for the Los Angeles Rams. They just lost their best wide receiver, their best player on the team, and Cooper Kupp, who is now on injury reserve with an ankle injury. And now Matthew Stafford is suffering from his second concussion that he has. This is a second concussion in the last 2 weeks. So you're going to be without your franchise quarterback. You're going to be without your star wide receiver. And offensively, they never had identity this season. They just cut Henderson, their running back. They just cut him for whatever reason. They struggled to run the football all year long. Cam Akers was sitting at home when Sean McVay really could have been using him, learning how to use the young running back who was underutilized, I believe, under this Rams offense. For whatever reason, we still don't know. They can never get the running game going. Offensive line has been terrible since week 1. And Cooper Kupp, the offense was just based on him. It was Cooper Kupp or bust in that offense. They never got Allen Robinson going the way they should have. Van Jefferson was a lost cause out there. Tyler Higbee was making no noise this year. Matthew Stafford was playing horrendous at the quarterback position after winning his first Super Bowl. So they didn't have anything going offensively. And defensively, they don't look like the same defense as well. They did lose Von Miller, who was a key piece to that defense, but they also added one of the best linebackers in football today in Bobby Wagner. The defense has definitely taken a step back. Jalen Ramsey doesn't look like a lockup corner this season, and the team is looked very, very terrible. Definitely an unfortunate scene that has transpired in Los Angeles this year. And the Rams currently sit at 3-7, and their first round, what would have been their first round pick this year, they would have had the 6th overall pick in the 2023 draft this upcoming spring. But that pick goes to the Detroit Lions because of the trade that they had between Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford a few years ago. So the Los Angeles Rams, you're going to miss the playoffs. You're in last place of the NFC West, and you don't even have a first round pick to look forward to come the NFL spring. This is a travesty. Definitely one of the worst Super Bowl hangovers that I've ever witnessed, and worst in recent memory. And then the last but not least is the Dallas Cowboys. My last takeaway from Week 11 is the Dallas Cowboys putting the whole entire NFC conference on notice. The Cowboys put together a dominating performance, blowing out the 8-1 Minnesota Vikings on the road, winning that game in outstanding fashion, 40-3. And this was the most impressive win, definitely from the Cowboys this season. But I think this was the most impressive win by any 32 teams in the NFL this year. That's how I think dominant performance that the Dallas Cowboys displayed. It was a much-needed win after losing that game on the road in Green Bay a week ago. And this was what the team needed. I can't think of any other team that has had a dominant win like what the Cowboys had this past weekend. Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles blew out the Minnesota Vikings as well, but they did it at home. The Dallas Cowboys did it on the road after the Minnesota Vikings won 7 games in a row. It doesn't get more impressive than that. They were red hot. And offensively, the Dallas Cowboys were unstoppable, had a total of 458 total yards, and had 7 straight scoring drives, whether that was a touchdown, whether it was a field goal. 7 times the offense had the ball. They went down the field and put points on the board. That is impressive. And Dak Prescott, the world always talks about Dak Prescott can't show up in big-time games. Obviously, this is not a playoff game by any means. We're still in the regular season. But I hear the chatter from analysts on a weekly basis. Oh, Dak Prescott can't win big games. Dak Prescott can't beat winning teams. Yes, the record shows, but there's a lot of quarterbacks who have a losing record against winning teams, and I'll save that for a different day. But Dak Prescott played pretty dang good against a really good team, an 8-1 football team, a team with a winning record. He did it on the road. And Dak Prescott threw he completed 22 out of 25 of his passes, had 276 passing yards, 2 touchdowns with a passer rating of 139.3. And it'll get better than that from Dakota Prescott. And then defensively, the Dallas Cowboys did their thing defensively, held the Minnesota Vikings under 200 total yards. An offense that has Kirk Cousins, who is definitely playing the best football of his NFL career. Dalvin Cook, who is one of the best running backs in the league. Justin Jefferson, one of the best wideouts in football today, was held just to 2 catches for 18 receiving yards by Trayvon Diggs. Adam Thielen, TJ Hawkinson at the tight end position. They have nothing but weapons, and this Dallas Cowboys defense held them to under 200 total yards in the game and sacked Kirk Cousins a total of 7 times with a forced fumble. It doesn't get more impressive than a win like that for the Dallas Cowboys. Hopefully, they can build this momentum off of this win and carry it moving forward. But that is all my biggest takeaways from Week 11 from this past NFL week.